And now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Gary Hebert, the man, the myth, the legend. I was amazed, and I was looking to become a better skater myself, and I wanted to be like Gary.
When you look at a guy like this, he's one of the most talented people in his profession. He's been given gifts by God.
It can get frustrating at times when you're trying things that, that maybe don't come as quickly to you as other things. And, you never really felt that sense of frustration with Gary. It was always about improvement and positive reinforcement.
Was it really the end? Was that head injury really the end? God has called Gary to continue to be a blessing to others and to be a passionate example.
My name is Gary Hebert, and this is the World Academy of Hockey, otherwise known as the Inside Edge.
I would recommend anybody that have a chance to come to his hockey school. I think it'd be well worth it. It'd be rewarding to all the kids and anyone coaches, from whether it's an adult, a professional player, to a little kid like a Mike or a Squirt.
Gary, from day one, has been instrumental to my hockey career. I started out as a potential Division III player, and Gary brought me single-handedly through high school and into a top Division I prospect. I owe it all to Gary, the biggest legend on and off ice there's ever been.
Listen, watch, learn, be confident, and have faith. Those are the answers I was brought to. Yet, I only now am really learning how truly important those 5 things are.
Through preparation, through appropriate thoughtfulness and thinking, we can learn to untie the typical knots between our ears that drive us into underachievement and underperformance. And on the whole, we can learn things to fulfill our God-given potential.
Gary has the innate ability to make people not only better players, but better people. The life lessons they learn from Gary are incredible.
I can always remember leaving that rink knowing as a player I got better, or I had something to improve on to get better. And I think that's what you excelled on as a coach, is giving us the knowledge to know what we needed to do to get better.
There's coaches who know the game, but can you communicate and create passion in your kids and in your players? And Gary's able to do that.
Gary's got great knowledge and the great hands, but more importantly, his ability to connect with people and care for them. His communication skills, to me, really stand out, separate him, and that's why he's one of the best, in the world.
Gary's a legend. He's a special, special man.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.
And live, well, at least I am, from the world-famous Universal Studios Hollywood, it's me. That's right. Back where, at least TNA started the other Universal Studios out in Orlando, Florida, after being in Nashville for the years they were there. But I am still Universal Studios, but I want to make sure I said hello. The glare is just awful. Let me bring in our renegade of an analyst, JJ Williams, into the shot, since I know he's here. And, yeah, we're live, pal. There you go. How you doing, JJ? How's your day going out there in the high desert?
Not too bad. Not too bad. It's a lot cooler than it has been here as of late. Work was work, kind of was what it was. Our
Definitely cooler
play-by-play
across the
man
board.
par excellence has just popped into the green room. If you'd like to intro him.
I shall introduce him as well then. Ladies and gentlemen, along for the ride with Renegade J.J. Williams is our play-by-play man par excellence, the simple man himself, Noah Foster, ladies and gentlemen.
Evening, gentlemen.
Heidi-ho, neighborino.
Oh, good Lord. It is still hotter than I don't know what here in this Midwest. Freaking new month, but it's still freaking heat wave of madness. This season's gotta freaking go away.
It's still warm out here, but it's not triple digits. It hasn't been the last few days. It's been upper 80s, low 90s. I never thought I'd say that that's tolerable, but when you're getting months of triple digits on end, it's definitely a welcome, change.
For your case, I'll give you that, but I've had enough of 80s and 90s for 1 year here in the Midwest. But that being said, got through it. That's all that matters. Walked through some extreme heat to take care of some grocery shopping, made myself a sub, got a haircut, and now I'm ready to enjoy some professional wrestling after a nice nap. So it's good to see you guys as always as the week continues here.
We got the boss man with his hand up. He's actually at the original Universal Studios, the one where TNA did not film at.
Wow.
It's a little bit of a throwback here, Universal in Hollywood.
It has been a beautiful day out here in Hollywood. Of course, getting here early, doing my photo op stuff. It would not be complete without the photos. Got an encounter with a raptor. That was a true unique adventure, no doubt about that. And I actually blocked my face out in the last one, but one of the last ones, there's definite fear on my face. Yes, I understand it's a theme park. I'm not in real danger. I get it. However, how can I go wrong without seeing the lovely Marilyn herself in her new spot? She's no longer over by the studio tour entrance. She's now in the heart of New York City, as she do. And of course, you can hear the music in the background right now. As a matter of fact, probably get Alan Silvestri and Universal on my butt for it, but that's okay. The Back to the Future theme, of course. This is why I'm here. So I wanted to thank everybody, especially you two gentlemen on screen, because after 30, let's see, let me do the math here. My brain is not doing the math, of course. But after 33 years, I can count, by the shirt, GregSherryBrand.com. 33 years between the picture you just saw here in this collage and this one from 1991. So that is the original car from the original movie that you're hearing the soundtrack for. Please don't sue me, Spielberg and Bob's. Please don't sue me. And Mr. Silvestri, you either. Anyway, I wanted to make sure I gave the intro where Universal, where TNA really, set their mark in history out in Florida. So I bid you guys good night. Have a great call. Enjoy Simply Predicting, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for the premiere of Ask Me Anything at 8 p.m. Eastern. What time am I going on tomorrow? 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific tomorrow, and then SummerSlam, of course, on Saturday. Gents, have a wonderful night. Love you all.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate you. And that's the man whose name is not on the marquee, but the boss man that is the center of everything here at the Multiverse of Media. God bless him. But JJ, it's you and I once again on the call for another edition of TNA Impact as we continue rolling strong with the NXTNA Weekly Delights across Tuesday and Thursday nights. We came off Great American Bash Week 1, and now we're into further fallout from Slammiversary with TNA Impact tonight, where we got a TNA World Championship match. We also have the Hollywood Hunk taking on the self-proclaimed King of TNA. We got Rosemary coming back to TNA Impact giving action. And, of course, we also have further knockouts action. We also have six-man tag team action with what could be, come the end of next week, the new NXT Tag Team Champions with 2/3 of the Rascals in the original MSK as they are taking on Speedball Mountain tonight in the new Exhibition Champion. So maybe Trey, who's now involved next week in NXT, could try and get back after the X Division Championship tonight if he gets the victory on Speedball Mike Billy. So there's a lot that could go down here as we're on the road now to Emergence, and we still don't know when we're going to be bound for glory.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you ran down a great many of the things, but I did notice there was one thing you left out, and I think it's a little bit ironic considering where Jeff is. You left out the French-Canadian Frankenstein and his bride, who will be getting married this evening on the program.
Oh, that was disaster in so many ways.
I mean, look, they've even got her hair done up like the Bride of Frankenstein in the image, bro. And the shameless plug that you could have done tying it into Universal Studios, where the man whose name is on the marquee is live currently.
1, I don't watch movies. 2, I recognize that reference. And 3, I was trying to avoid it because I'm trying to focus on the wrestling. I knew you were going to put that at the forefront because damn it.
Of course. Well, actually, I had the 6-man as the image I was going to throw up. But when you read through everything and ignored it, I had to hit you with it first and foremost. You did that yourself.
Oh, damn it.
My dad is in the chat room. Good to see you.
Hey, nice
Bob,
to see you.
Matt here, Safet here. Jason, yes, we actually watch it on the YouTube. What's it called? The Ultimate Insiders?
Correct. For literally $1 a month, you get 4 weeks of TNA iMPACT commercial free, 8:30 p.m. Standard Time stream on their YouTube page. But you also can watch it on TNA Plus. And I believe it actually does start at 8 p.m. Standard Time, but we do the YouTube stream as long as I'm able to.
Yes. That way we get it commercial free. So that's why we're here doing a little bit of, we're more than 5 minutes, a little bit of bullshitting.
And again, fuck
before
television.
we get things rolling. But yeah, wait. Did you just say what I think I heard you say? Hold on. I can't do too many things at once, you know. Gotta be ready to get the little graphics going here, man.
Just cheap plug. I mean, again, I'll try to do that later because there's also one other thing I didn't say. But then again, all I need to do is say his name. You know exactly who I'm referring to. They leave! Because, of course, we're also going to hear tonight from Joe Hendry regarding, I imagine, what happened not only on Tuesday night, but the fact that Josh Alexander has not explained his actions yet against him at Slammiversary. Because, again, as far as I'm concerned, Joe Hendry should literally be in the talk for the TNA World Championship. Oh, man. There's so much to look forward to on TNA Impact. I love Thursday nights. So, without further ado, yeah, we bullshit a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and get a little more right into it. So, yeah, Joe Hendry, of course, incredible concert. A new hit based on a classic theme to the Gallus firm, saying that if you hate Gallus, wave your hands in the air. They got deported because of their bad facial hair, which I am now clean shaven for the time being. Thank you, Lady James. Always great job as always. But again, focusing on the TNA side, which I imagine was going to focus on, Joe Hendry made sure the system went down. And so far, he's been the answer to being in the system, as we saw last week in the main event. With the fact that Moose is no longer the TNA World Champion, of course, Joe Hendry helped the Matt Hardy and the ABC overcome the previous tag champions and JDC. It almost feels like Joe Hendry has restored a confidence back in the TNA locker room where we no longer are under rule of the system. So whether or not he talks about Moose or he talks about Josh Alexander, I think both of those men are going to listen towards what Joe Hendry has to say, and at least one of them may have an answer.
That's fair. And you've also got to wonder with night 2 of Great American Bash coming next week and the gelling of the NXT partnership becoming more and more cohesive. Could we see the Gallus boys here this evening to kind of further that angle?
Oh, that'd definitely be something that would definitely put me over the line, considering right now TNA has nothing planned for the UK or Scotland, but we know now Vancouver is getting Survivor Series War Games. I knew they were going to bring that up eventually. But, yeah, and again...
Vancouver needs something. They don't got a Stanley Cup team. So.
Well, I wouldn't know. I don't watch hockey. But the thing
is... You need to watch hockey, bro.
No, that ain't happening. All right, I may do a lot of
things. If you like violence...
I do.
Then you should enjoy hockey.
There's a certain form of violence I like, and usually it takes part in the squared circle, but that's a different conversation. With or without ropes. Again, shout out to James and Walter and Big J on the call with Bloodsport. Go check out in the archives, folks. It's one of those things where I'm sure that Matthew Raywine and Tom Hannigan, or at least we will, mention it because they do talk about a lot of the NXT stuff. I mean, again, I got to imagine they're going to talk about the Rascals. We'll talk about that a little bit, considering what they are going to pursue next week. But yeah, I could definitely see Gallus being mentioned, but I just think right now, after they literally kabong Joe Hendry on Tuesday night, and again, I know pre-recorded versus live, pre-recorded, different networks, different time zones, different areas. I wouldn't rule it out. Maybe they show up via satellite because, again, Joe Coffey has already pronounced his absolute disdain towards Joe Hendry. But I think tonight Joe Hendry is going to once again show us why he has 250 pounds of pure motivation to answer all those questions. And at least two people are not going to believe, outside my friend King and ATW, who's still a hater.
Yeah, he is. I had to comment on his post the other day about believing in Joe Hendry, and he just posted some kind of GIF and kind of turned his head and looked like, really?
He's like Booker T. They don't believe. They don't get it. One day maybe they will. Who knows? Booker T doesn't ever look better than he did in that kilt shot. But that being said, we can talk about Joe Hendry all night, but of course, it's not the only thing here on TNA because there is actual wrestling involved. So why don't we go ahead and start talking about some of these matches? I'll let you take this one because this is your boy, the self-proclaimed king of TNA, who's out to prove a point against not the champion, but the champion's younger brother in singles action.
Younger, less talented brother. No disrespect to Ryan, but it's just one of those things where he's going to always be living in Nick's shadow. You know what I mean? You could almost do the father-son comparison because brothers, it's rare that you get brother teams where the more successful, maybe the Guerreros, Eddie definitely surpassed Chavo and Mondo, but it's like usually it's a father-son thing, and can the son outshine the infamous father?
To be continued to be figured out, and who knows when, if ever.
And sometimes they're successful, and other times not so much. And I just, unfortunately for Ryan, I feel like he got the bad end of the stick here, coming along so late in the game after Nick has already established a legacy of sorts.
Yeah.
He's looking for revenge for his brother, but at the end of the day, it's his brother's fight. It's not his fight.
Yeah, it's one of those proverbial
So I
things.
see Frankie going over here, possibly doing a bit of a post-match beatdown, which could bring Nick out to possibly set up something for Emergence or Victory Road down the road here.
Well, Nick Nemeth did say, anyone, anytime, anywhere, all you got to do is meet me face to face and say that you are better than me, and I will prove you wrong. That's what Nick Nemeth's all about. That's what the wanted man's all about. He knows he has that target on him. And I can definitely see Frank Kazarian making this personal. Let's put it back. Let's rewind again. It was Frank Kazarian and Nick Nemeth, the last two left in the six-way eliminator. And Nick Nemeth found a way to not only survive an attempted fade to Black Avalanche, he found a way to escape and plant Frank Kazarian into the danger zone in the middle of the ring to become the TNA World Champion. Once again, Nick Nemeth did something that people may not have believed in. Why Frank Kazarian is still trying to do something he's never accomplished, winning the big one. That chip on his shoulder, bringing them out of Everest, got a whole nother elevation to it now with the fact that he lost out on it again. And it wouldn't surprise me if he tries to make this personal, maybe trying to use even the danger zone against Ryan Nemeth himself to make this personal against the champion. But Nick Nemeth's got a lot more to worry about right now than Frank Kazarian and his petty attitude as of late. The subclass king of TNA without his crown. Because we'll talk more about that and what I imagine is going to have to be our main event. Because Nick Nemeth, to your point, he's defending the title tonight. But yeah, it just feels like to me, Frank Kazarian is a first ballot candidate to make sure his name stays in the title picture to challenge for it again. Whether it's one-on-one or another multi-person affair remains to be seen. But we know next month we do have Emergence. And a lot can emerge tonight out of what happens between that match and this one. For in Ali, the people no longer trust. Rightfully so. As people might now.
I still trust in Ali.
Okay, well, that's your choice. I don't, especially after he was already...
Do you trust in Ali or do you trust the system?
Neither. I plead the fifth. Because...
Yeah, see, you got to pick one.
No, I don't. You can't force me to.
We know you believe in Joe Hendry, but who do you trust in? Ali or the system?
I
still trust Ali more than I trust the system.
I give you that, and I think the system right now is losing trust in themselves. If Alicia Edwards' little backstage promo with the system being absolutely silent next week, she does anything. But right here, I will give Mustafa Ali credit's due. 8 months plus of an undefeated run in the wrestling business and making history with the X Division Championship. Only to lose at Slammiversary to Speedball Mike Bailey, who once again is going to restore a whole new level of prestige to that title like he did in his first run. But a proverbial option C and a political campaign once again rebound like Donald Trump. We now have Mustafa Ali challenging for the TNA World Championship against Nick Nemeth. And something tells me Campaign Singh and his special security are not going to be too far behind. But Nick Nemeth, this is his first defense. It would absolutely shock me, like the Baroness song, if Mustafa Ali wins this. He's more than capable. I do believe he's more than capable because at one point, you can look at Mustafa Ali being the spot that Nick Nemeth was at, trying to prove a point that he could be our world champion, but nobody took him seriously enough. The company or the people. He already made it serious enough when he was X Division champion in his 8-month undefeated campaign. But Nick Nemeth, like you said, he's a guy that's created his own legacy now, and now he's the face of TNA. This is going to be a great match, but I can't imagine Nick Nemeth being 0D his first time as TNA World Champion. That would actually bring the title down for me. No disrespect to Mustafa Ali, and shout out to Big GC on Super Dating. What's your take on this? All of a sudden, literally 1 week out, botch, 2 weeks out from Slammiversary, we got a TNA World Championship match.
I think it's a testament to Ali that he's Nemeth's first opponent.
I do agree about that.
You know, I think it's a testament to what he's done, especially in comparison to what he was allowed to do in his old company.
Exactly.
I could technically see Ali picking this up. I don't think the title will change hands. But let's not forget that Frankie Kazarian and Nick Nemeth and Ryan Nemeth are more than likely going to have their match prior to this. Some of that could carry out into this match. Who's to say that Frankie can't come out, attack Ali, giving Ali the disqualification victory, and then immediately turning his focus to Nick and beating the piss out of him. Ali didn't lose, so he'd be guaranteed a rematch at some point.
Technically.
And Frankie still gets what he needs to get on Nick. Possibly setting up a tag match for this next set of tapings that'll be tomorrow and Sunday for TNA. We could maybe get Ali and Kaz versus Nick and Ryan.
Yeah, I could see that, but the last time that Kazarian tried to work with somebody, it didn't work out very well for him, as we saw the fight between him and Macklin.
Big difference between Macklin and Ali. Let's just call it like it is.
Yeah, but again, you're still talking about 3 combustible egos, and we saw what Macklin did last week in Canada, eh? I'm just saying. And I wouldn't rule Macklin out either, because right now there's somebody that's making sure he's not forgotten. It's Walking Mayhem himself. I'm just saying. But like you are also talking about here, Nick Nemeth's got a lot of targets already pointed at him like a sniper rifle. You talked about Mustafa Ali. I talked about Steve Macklin. We talked about freaking Frank Kazarian. You know Josh Alexander is going to give us an answer in regards to that championship on this man's shoulder more than saying that he doesn't believe, simply put, in Joe Hendry. And honestly, the only person right now that really we haven't talked about regarding this whole picture that might surprise out of nowhere is Moose. Because, again, Moose was the face of TNA since its rebirth back at Hard to Kill. You know he's going to want to get back after this. But everyone's going to be like, get to the back of the line, which means Santino Rella's got a lot to figure out tonight regarding this championship.
That's fair. Then we got a match where none of the participants in it are a threat to this, but
oh, baby.
Say that one of them is not a threat is a complete understatement.
Well, I mean, you're literally talking about the Wild Child versus Russian Dynamite herself. And might I add, for those that don't know, these two are a fight chair and Bloodsport, and you saw how that ended. But that being said...
But that was MMA style. This is straight up wrestling.
True, but I still think regardless, you can blur the line between wrestling and MMA when you're in TNA and you know who you're dealing with, considering how multidisciplined both these incredible athletes are. And let's just put it out there. The system has one piece of gold left. The TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championships with Alicia Edwards. If they lose that, the system, in my opinion, is done. They're shut down. They're gone. So you know Alicia's going to do everything in her power to preserve these titles. And What I thought wasn't going to work from the beginning, like oil and water, really has worked in what has been created called the militia. As once again, Spitfire came up short, but a win here by Jody Fred has to put them back in tag title contention. It comes down to me if Alicia Edwards is focused enough on this title versus the failing of the system. Because last week we saw the system fail. Can they fail again? That's the question. And also, can Spitfire bounce back? Jody Fred is in a must-win situation, in my opinion. They've already lost the titles. If they lose this match, they might as well not challenge for these titles as long as the militia have them. That's all I got to say about that. But I also say that I wonder if Macho trusts Alicia enough so far to the point that she will do whatever it takes to preserve these titles. But again, if Alicia gets out of line, could we sense some dissension? Because I do think a killer will soon be back in the impact zone. And I think she works better with Macho, just saying. But what's your take on this?
My question is, with Jody and Danny having had lost the titles to the militia, having tried on at least one, I believe more than one occasion, to reclaim them, and
they only have one.
Okay,
they only have one.
I could have swore they had another one, but if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
I got you, brother. Yeah, they only have one rematch. Contractually obligated at Slammiversary.
I'm curious how much longer they're going to be able to hold on. I see more in a feud between Jody and Danny than I see as them as a team. But here's where the $1 million question comes in.
Ding, ding, ding.
If they're not the ones to dethrone the militia, who is? TNA is seriously lacking in their Knockouts tag team department.
Correct.
But could this partnership with NXT potentially bring some competition, some challengers?
Maybe.
Jakara Jackson and Lash Legend. Casey Jane and Jasmine Nix.
Okay, I like that one.
Or either one of those two and Fallon Henley. And if Zachary Wentz ends up becoming tag champion with Wesley next week, could TNA return the favor by giving one of those NXT teams a limited run with their Knockouts tag title?
Well, again,
to try to help elevate it, because again, I still see people online talking about how TNA is getting nothing out of this deal. Their performers are being seen by millions
and millions,
not thousands, millions of people on a weekly basis. The Knockouts tag team title being on NXT for a couple of weeks, from let's just say from Emergence until Halloween Havoc. I wouldn't say No Mercy because that's literally like 2 days later.
I'm about to say, I was about to botch.
But from Emergence to maybe Halloween Havoc, that's some exposure for the Knockouts tag titles. That also gives TNA an opportunity to kind of reformat their division to try to have some contenders. Who's going to get them back off of this NXT contingent?
Yeah. I mean, again, we know that one half of a former TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Champion, switching gears, will be returning to in-ring action where she truly has nothing to lose and nothing right now with her, and that's Rosemary. After hearing that cryptic message by Rosemary last week and seeing her haunt the personal concierge of Ash by Elegance, and I think also stalking Ash to a degree, we're getting the return of Rosemary in action tonight, and I have no idea what to expect from the Demon Assassin, if she still is that, because I'm still trying to decipher her cryptic message from last week. I don't know what she's serving. I don't know what she's planning. I don't even know if she even knows what she's doing. So this is a very dangerous, I would say, event that I think we're going to see tonight. And you're talking about rearranging the Knockouts division. You got Michelle Shaw, the quintessential knockout, who you know is going to go after Tasha Steelz at some point after stealing that win at Slammiversary, because you know Michelle Shaw wants to go after Jordan Grace for the TNA Knockouts Championship again. And of course, the Juggernaut, she needs a new challenger. But something tells me after that mixed tag last week, Ash by Elegance may try and cash in another rematch, even though she didn't pin the champion. but still gave her best match of her career at Slammiversary. Give credit where credit's due.
Speaking of needing a new challenger, people online are asking who is going to beat Roxanne Perez. Who's going to be the next one to step to her? And a lot of people want to see the quintessential diva be the next TNA person to cross over to challenge Roxy.
I like that. By the way, knockout, botch, quintessential knockout. Because Gail Kim encouraged her, don't do it as a diva, and I praise God for that.
Okay, I must have missed that promo. I know she's always been the quintessential diva, so that's not really a botch.
Well, I mean,
if
again,
that's a new name change that hasn't been addressed since I've been watching, I'm not going to know.
Well, first off, brother, I watch TNA every week, so I always got you. And it has been addressed. She's literally called herself that since her return, and the only loss she got was that 4-way knockouts match at Slammiversary when Tasha Steelz stole the pin off her work. Tasha Steelz, Michelle Shaw, Zaya Brookside. There's a lot of potential here to who could challenge Jordan Grace in TNA. And then Roxanne Perez. I like the fact that she's focusing not on the TNA or the NXT locker room. She's focusing on two names coming to NXT. And that's Julia from Marigold and Stephanie Valcuro, who's newly signed to WWE. I do think one of those two right now is a top-tier candidate to try and test the Prodigy. And I would talk about champions like this. It goes Roxanne Perez, Jordan Grace, and Timeless Toy Story for me when it comes to the most prolific women's champions right now in the business, not name Athena and Ring of Honor. And I put Athena in her own class because she literally leads that company, but she hasn't been able to take it anywhere else. But that being said, focusing on TNA here, Rosemary is a former TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champion multiple times over, but Havoc's been MIA since the loss to Ash by Elegance back and Under Siege. And also, she's a former TNA Knockouts World Champion. But what does Rosemary desire? Does she desire gold? Does she desire acceptance? Does she desire vengeance? What is Rosemary's MO? I don't know. But just in this look alone, this is not the same Rosemary I'm used to watching, physically and psychologically. So this is going to be unique, to say the least.
And then the one match that got mentioned, but we didn't really get in depth with, Smoke 'em if you got 'em, the Rascals in full force taking on Speedball Mountain and Kushida.
By the way, shout out to the Buzz Lightyear tire, Team Lightyear. I love that.
Yes, I am here for that all day, every day. As a Disney dork, I am all here for it. Man.
I know you
I
are.
remember when they came out at Slammiversary, I pointed it out to Cece's oldest because he grew up with Toy Story, and he was like, "Oh shit."
But yeah, again, 2/3 of the Rascals, the former MSK, are challenging Axiom and David Frazier next week at NXT GAB next week, Tuesday. And
it's going to be interesting to see what happens there because Axiom lost his speed match, so he's eliminated from that tournament see who challenges Andrade. So what kind of mindset is Axiom going to be in after taking that L? Is Nathan Frazier going to be rubbing it in his face? Could that possibly lead to their downfall?
I mean, if you're trying to make the speed tile worth anything, I think you're already selling yourself short, but that's just a whole different conversation. But to that point, I can see them doing that just to try and leverage some story, but did you really lose on anything? That being said, again, the Rascals, MSK, the Rascals as a trio, we're looking at the former NXT North American champion, former NXT Tag Team champion, former multiple-time X Division champion, going up against former challengers for the TNA Tag Team Championships against these guys in multi-team action, might I add. The current X Division champion, and Kushida, who's challenging a whole different spirit of Bushido after being a freaking Rich Swann back at Slammiversary. And Kushida right now has just kind of been that guy, part of these trios, without the fact that Motor Machine Gun is no longer there, okay? The time machine's gone, just saying. It's just the time splitter. Or is he still a time splitter after challenging that Japanese professional wrestler at Slammiversary? You tell me. With Speedball Mike Billy now the SEC champion, though, like I said, this could be huge for the one guy right now on the Rascal side that has nothing ahead for him in TNA or NXT. If Trey gets the bear of Speedball Mike Billy, and Speedball Mike Billy has a very familiar foe as his first defense for the X Division Gold. You figure about that the Rascals are trying to build momentum, and might I add, they're undefeated as a trio since reuniting across NXT and TNA. Just saying. And it is a united front. I got to look at the Rascals here, not just being biased. Look at you got Trey Miguel, Toledo 419 represent, but I think the Rascals, they're kind of going to win this. Not that they need to, but they're going to because they've been on an unstoppable run of momentum. And right now, Speedball Mike Bailey, Speedball Mountain. I also don't know the condition of Trent Simmons' knee. I almost feel like Kushida here is a guy that's channeling something different, whether it was Black King influence or not, where he might leave these two, Gresham showing up or not, and that could cost them. But I go with the more defined trio here for the win. I got to go with the Rascals as we wait for TNA Impact to start here as I refresh my feed. And I got the cold opener. Your thoughts real quick, JJ, before we get into this.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like we're waiting for something monumental to occur as far as this partnership goes. If MSK can get the NXT tag titles next week, and then let's say that at Emergence, hot off the heels of a victory here, the Rascals can challenge ABC and win, they've got all the gold.
Exactly.
You've got Trey and Zach as the TNA champs, and you've got MSK as the NXT champs. Zachary Wentz is a double champion. I'm just like, dude, that would be monumental as we see the Rascals in their Buzz Lightyear gear coming down to the ring again. Smoke them if you got them. Kicking us off here this evening.
And to that point, welcome everybody once again to JMN Multiverse of Media live watchable events as we officially kick off our coverage of TNA Impact. And you can join us on YouTube for $1 plus tax in the action on TNA Wrestling's YouTube channel, or become a member of TNA Plus and enjoy this as well on their service. Welcome to the show. Sameno Foster here with American Wrestling JJ Woods. We're kicking things off with our ring announcer Jay Jung, bringing in the Rascals, who are once again in trios action. Ever since reuniting with their former Rascal West lead, they have been undefeated across TNA and NXT. And they got a very formidable trio to go up against tonight in the Time Splitter, Kushida, who's been channeling a whole different aura. Oh, look at that. Hold the phone. Kushida back in the classic Back to the Future attire. Maybe he hasn't been fully influenced
which is
yet by that
perfect considering where Jeff Meacham is today.
Right? And again, thank you to those that are tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, tell a friend. And if you want to dictate the conversation, don't need to dictate. Castlane Studios, Jeff Beach, Never Good Cherry Brand. Super chat as simple as that as we kick things off here with Trios Action. And here comes one half of Speedball Mountain and a tag team special in his own right, Trent Seven, who of course is coming off that knee injury caused by Mustafa Ali, but he did come to the aid of his tag partner and friend in the new Exhibition champion, Speedball Mike Bailey. And seriously, you need to go back and watch Slammiversary. It was a phenomenal pay-per-view. You got to go see it to believe it, what happened, especially during that Exhibition Championship match. And speaking of which, there he is. And of course, they're still in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, like you said, doing the tapings. Montreal's own Speedball Mike Bailey, our new Exhibition champion who stopped the global campaign of Mustafa Ali and handed him his first defeat via submission. This is going to be good right here. I mean, again, absolute chaos happened during that match. We had campaign scene come into play. We had the special security come into play. And it turned out the special security...
We had Earl Hebner come into play.
TNA Hall of Famer referee, by the way, as Mustafa Ali looked to once again pull off another Montreal screw job. And in the end, he got screwed, and Earl Hebner cleared his name from one of the biggest tragedies in wrestling history. Seeing Speedball Mike Bailey tap Mustafa Ali out to the sharpshooter doesn't get more poetic than that. Oh my gosh. Moment of the freaking decade right now for me. Referee, I forget her last name, Paige here. It's a unique last name.
I love that Zachary Wentz has that Mickey Mouse tattoo and they're wearing Buzz Lightyear gear.
Oh, good Lord Almighty. Might as well be Universal Studios, all this Disney nonsense. And of course,
hey, I will not take such slander about the House of Mouse, sir.
Look, this is wrestling. That's all I'm going to say. Here we go. Trios action underway. Trey Miguel starting off against Kushida, master of the hoverboard lock. Trey Miguel, former two-time X Division champion, still to come tonight. Dear God.
The wedding of the French-Canadian Frankenstein, PCO, and Steph DeLander, his lovely bride. Since Noah won't sell it the way it deserves to be.
Because I'm
Of
damn sure
course,
going to
TNA
sell.
World Championship on the line. Champion Nick Nemeth defending against Mustafa Ali.
There
And
we
the
go.
less talented younger brother, Ryan Nemeth,
Damn.
takes on the king of TNA, Frankie Kazarian. Knockouts action, Jody Thread versus Masha Slamovich. And of course, Rosemary will be back in action.
And again, stat night tonight. And also, we apparently will try and hear again from Josh Alexander, who gave us no words. But I know somebody we will hear from that will motivate us here tonight as well. We will also hear from Joe Hendry. And that's everything coming ahead tonight on TNA Wrestling. Again, X Division, all about no limits. Oh, good tag team cohesion there by Zachary Wentz up and over. Sunset flip. Rose Kushida up. Now Miguel with the Manhattan drop. Taking out the knee. Last chancery. Double drop kick. Beautiful synergy here by the Rascals in the early going. I mean, again, since Wesley reunited with his former friends of the Treehouse, he has not missed a single step. Oof.
I've said it a few times. I think this reunion is exactly what Wesley needed at the right possible time. Wesley was starting to doubt himself. He was starting to feel down after his loss to Obafemi, and his rascal brethren showed up and gave him that adrenaline boost that he needed. And he's been on a whole other level since reuniting with his brothers from the Treehouse.
I mean, that being said, sometimes you got to figure out what are you without a championship versus what can you be with a championship. And Trent 7 double team there by Speedball Mountain. Flipping leg drop cover, gets a 2 count. We talk about one of the greatest minds here in the wrestling business, by the way. The guy that trained Tyler Bate here, former Rev Pro British Heavyweight Champion, former NXT Tag Team Champion, Trent 7. And to your point, the Rascals, again, undefeated in trios across NXT and TNA with wins over with wins over No Quarter Catch Crew and Gallus and the tag champions of Javon Evans only in NXT, while they've been able to overcome other offense here. So far, No Quarter Catch Crew, some anniversary here in TNA Wrestling. Irish whip now by Trent 7, throws Wesley in the corner. I talked about Trey Miguel earlier, who could be in contention, possibly. Ooh. For the X Division Championship, should he get a win here. Wesley, like you said, one of the most prolific NXT North American champions. Why he and, of course, Zachary Wentz will be contending for NXT Tag Team Gold. Wesley might also be on the X Division Championship for all we know. There's a tag made again by Wentz. And again, the Rascals isolating. What is this? Oh!
Buster by Zach Wentz here.
And he is just literally riding Trent 7. And Speedball right now in the opposite corner trying to come to the aid of his friend. But once again, Trey and Wesley isolating the X Division champion, taking him down with these kicks. A double stop. And Wentz is still doing that to Trent in the corner. Good grief. And now, literally, mercifully, Trent driven to the center. There's the cover. I don't know what to call that there. That's not Call of Duty teabagging. That's awkward.
It's weird there. Trey Miguel technically saved Trent 7 from that Bronco Buster because he wanted to try and get the pinfall attempt here.
Handstand, back elbow strike, denying the knife-edge chop. Well, again, the thing about the Rascals, they are effective DDT as a unit, but sometimes they do take what they do in that ring, I think, lightly. And those shenanigans, by the shirt, I think can ultimately cost them and hold them back. And if I know Axel Nathan Frazier, there's going to be no shenanigans when it comes to how important it is to defend those NXT Tag Team Championships. Next week, Tuesday on Great American Bash, of course, we'll call here Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, Kushida in, Dragon Screw leg with driving Wesley down. And these Dragon Screws again, damn, that move has to suck. Contorting the ankle and the leg and all the 3 muscles in the lower leg, all the ligaments. And
it's an easy way to give you a Charlie horse.
Yeah, exactly. Kick right to the face right now. Kushida firmly in control. The time splitter back to normal, might I add, tonight versus what he was channeling at Slammiversary. And now look at apply the hoverboard lock to Wesley. Towards center, Wesley trying to find the ropes, though, for a break. Oh, man. Hoverboard lock is in, and literally Wesley is dragging all of Kushida's weight against him. I'm not sure if that tag was made. I think it was, though. The cover double stop. Great call by Page, though, by the way. Corkscrew plunge by Wentz. Whites out Trent Seven on the outside. And Speedball Mike Bailey now looking to follow up on the second row. Moonsault! Beautiful moonsault to the outside. Whites out second row. The train flies like a bullet. To infinity.
Quick interruption in the action here. We did get a $2 super chat. Go back to the full question here. Do you think we'll see a reunion of Mustache Mountain as a part of NXT the TNA partnership? Got to wait for Tyler Bate to get off of injury first. He's currently out with an injury. That's why Pete Dunne has been having this solo run. So once he gets back, if the partnership is still going on, then possibly, but gotta get him off the injured list first. Thank you for the super chat, though, Wesley.
I appreciate it. And well, again, like you also saying, of course, we talk about former NXT Tag Team Champions Tyler Bate, also former Heritage Cup holder, former NXT UK champion. And he and Trent Seven had a fallout at the end of NXT UK over that title, but there's still huge respect between teacher and student. So I'm going to rule it out. Also, Tyler Bate get well soon. Of course, Tyler Bate, Trent Seven, and Pete Dunne all make up British Strong Style. Off the top, driven down at Trent Seven, cover on Wesley, hook the leg and a near fall. Take another look at this, JJ. Yep. Golly! Not enough, though, of that avalanche power slam turnaround. I thought for a moment he was trying to do a Michinoku driver. Uh-oh. Oh, look out here. Oh, my God, that high kick to the head. 7-star
like he
lariat.
was going to go for the Rainmaker there, but Speedball caught him with that kick.
And then he went for the 7-star lariat. Meanwhile, Ultimate Weapon denied. Trey Miguel wiping out Trent Seven from the outside. Step up. Rising knee strap by Wentz. Takes Speedball off the top. Again, great figging. Great awareness there by the Rascals. The Rascals attacking on all sides here. Oh, now Wesley falls in with a forearm smash. Tag made now to Trey Miguel. Trey is legal. There's the double leg. We've seen this before. Super kick. Trent laid out over the knees. Now Wentz legal up to the second rope. Double stop! And Trey step up. Tope Con low. Wipes Kushida and Bailey on the outside. Trent Seven isolated. And here it comes. Hot Fire Flame! By MSK. Rascals with the win! Woo! And now the Rascals can focus on what's ahead for them next week on NXT GAB. To your point, JJ, it will be MSK challenging David Fraser and Addison for the NXT Tag Team Championships. MSK looking to become two-time NXT Tag Team Champions. And if they get that hot fire flame, we very well might have new tag champions come Tuesday.
It's just a trip to see the graphic from Great Impact.
I knew you were going to say that. Yeah, just control yourself, bruv, as we look back now towards Jordan Grace and Ash by Elegance Clinic at Slammiversary. Jordan Grace, of course, talking about how everybody wants that title. And she's all about bringing the best of everybody. But, of course, Ash cannot have her moment while she is still champion.
I think I'm just a little bit ahead of you, so I'll pause as soon as this promo video is done, and then let me know when it goes off for you.
Sure. Who is ready for the Juggernaut? Off. Now, still kind of not at the wedding. A PCO on Step the Lander. They make it official. Of course, PCO, our new international heavyweight and digital media champion, but still to come in our main event, the wanted man with no days off will defend the gold first against Mustafa Ali. But up next, Rosemary returns to in-ring action here on TNA Wrestling. And why is Mean Gio Miller backstage without Mustafa Ali? By the way, congrats again to Gio Miller re-signing to TNA Wrestling.
Yes.
Almost not really on the phone. Oh dear. I think Mustafa Ali still a little bit upset about some anniversary.
I wouldn't be surprised. Well, of course, while we have this non-promo here, I want to remind everybody to tune in at 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern, following our broadcast here, as we will be simply predicting.
Damn it.
SummerSlam, which of course Noah will not be here to be on the call for this weekend because he will be there live and in person.
I'm looking forward to it. I am. I'm not going to lie. I'm looking forward to it.
Give me 1 second, bro.
Well, okay, this is different. What on the hell? Huh. Rosemary has risen. But what the hell has returned? Well, campaign scene has his hands full right now, trying to calm down his campaign leader, Mustafa Ali, who apparently holds some blame to campaign scene for the fact he lost some anniversary. Speaking of loss, Rosemary's been a lost soul ever since losing Jessica Havoc back at Oversiege, and of course, no longer being TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champion. What the hell's in that can of Rosemary? That's a butcher's knife! I always knew Rosemary was a bit dangerous and unhinged, but this is definitely different. Last time I saw Rosemary with a weapon in Canada was a pair of scissors threatening to cut the hair off Laura Denise and Kimberly back in Smash Wrestling when Rosemary was born, as we have Kristara, local talent here, taking on Rosemary in her in-ring return to TNA after stalking the personal concierge and Asked by Elegance for weeks now, JJ.
Yeah. I feel bad for Kristara here. Jobber to Rosemary.
I mean, again, we talked about, though, again, what is Rosemary's MO? What is she trying to gain here, trying to prove? Does she want maybe the TNA Knockouts World Championship? As Jordan Grace says, there's nobody right now that can oppose the Juggernaut, and she will make sure she keeps it that way, but still wishes everybody to bring their best game. And she got that from Asked by Elegance, and something tells me Asked by Elegance, as we see there in the bottom right-hand corner, apparently the personal concierge has not forgotten how Rosemary has threatened his life with a knife, running off. And you almost wonder if the personal concierge was in Ash Belligan's corner. Could Ash have overcome the Juggernaut? We got Tarantula actually by Rosemary up to the count of 5. I mean, at this point, what's the Ash worried about more of here? Her personal concierge or going back out of the TNA Knockouts World Championship? And does she consider Rosemary a threat?
Well, how could you not consider Rosemary a threat? But we all know Ash is more concerned with the championship than she is her concierge.
Well, right now, Kristara there, a little shot that she got the better of Rosemary there for a moment off that spinning leg kick. And front face lock now. Fisherman
Perfect
suplex, bridge cover. Great arc there for a 2 count. Nearly pinned a former TNA Knockouts World Champion.
And that's probably about the only flurry of offense she's going to get here. She's, you know, not staying on top of things. And there we go.
Sidestep by Rosemary, running in with the elbow strike. Rosemary, a complete different look. Face first goes Kristara.
Bit of an X factor there, yeah.
Yeah, and Rosemary screaming. Yeah, Rosemary, a whole different look, whole different demeanor, whole different attitude. Oh, no. Rosemary. So below. Good night to Kristara.
Yep. Called it. That little flurry of offense was all she was going to get.
Huh?
What's this?
moment of clarity? Well, I mean, she's definitely not all there, but she did get the win tonight here.
She would fit in good with the Wyatt 6.
What's in that bag?
Give Nikki Cross somebody to team with.
Well, wait a minute. JJ, I don't think she's done yet. What the hell?
It's a black rose. Symbol of death.
I'm about to say, yeah. Making sure our opponent rests in peace, I suppose. What a unique post-match ritual. Truly a disturbing sight here, laying to rest her opponent tonight on impact as the personal concierge and Aspen Elegance watch backstage. As we go backstage to the system, I'm confused. Am I okay to say that?
No, you're perfectly fine to say that. I'm a little befuddled myself.
Huh.
Looks like we got Alicia Edwards here trying to get the system back hype.
System reboot. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Huh. All right. Took a bullet. Still stand by the system. So again, he's not in the system. He wants to be in the system. Yeah.
Moose saying a big part of them was taking its Slammiversary.
Well, I will say this. Looks like Alicia has once again motivated the system, and we'll see if the reboot actually brings dividends.
Again, still to come, the wedding of PCO and Steph DeLander. The moment on this show, I'd say the number 2 moment I'm looking forward to, because we all know we're looking forward to Joe Hendry.
But it looks
since
like
we all believe. But other than that, the wedding is what I'm most looking forward to.
I you were going to say that, but coming up next, we're about to hear from Josh Alexander to go backstage first to a man that's been looking for the TNA World Championship, was denied by the system, but got a great win over something. Mike Santana.
I was waiting for that.
I mean, it had to come up at least once. And Mike Santana on the screen, he had a great match against that man. Come on, we got to go characters too. A lot of unfinished business. Oh, wait, boy. What's Captain C doing? I got credibility. You got more street credibility than Mike Santana, a guy that literally fought for his life on the streets of New York. All right, Campaign Singh, I think you're about to get a huge wake-up call. Well, I give the man credit. He's got guts. But I guess Santino's got to make it official. Mike Santana's for it, though. But I think Campaign Scene just set himself up for a world of hurt against the realist. I mean, hey, I'm all for seeing Campaign Scene get his ass kicked, JJ. I'm just saying.
Oh, I'm sure you are.
But this
again, you like violence and destruction.
But I also like it with respect and decorum, something this man has officially lacked since Slammiversary. Maybe tonight we'll actually get some words from the Walking Weapon for his actions and change of heart. He provided nothing last week. No rebuttal. He just literally let the audience sing him out of the building. Okay, that's the second time now Jay Chung's introduced him. Is he even in the building? Is he here?
Don't know.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Josh Alexander is backstage apparently and refused to go out there with the people. It looks like he's backstage Gia. If I say she's got to do the journalism. We want an explanation. Let's see. Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, Chris Benoit. Who else is from Canada? Bret the Hitman Hart. He believes in me. Reason this place has doors to open. So Josh is jealous. Got it.
Well, I mean, we all knew that's what it came down eventually.
Says he's done. Doesn't care about us or the people. Well, I guess we'll move on from there, from that sour apple. What a sour push. Jeez. How about you conduct yourself better in this business? Anyway, let's go back inside the impact zone for some in-ring action. The Hollywood Hunk, Ryan Nemeth. We are going to move forward in our program, folks. Ryan Nemeth now is going to go one-on-one with Kazarian. I mean, I can understand the pride you have for the work you've given, and I don't think it should be forgotten. But if you believe that is the number one reason, you should always be the guy that's recognized when others that followed in your steps by your example, worthy, by the way, of it, have maybe surpassed what you did as of right now versus what you did back then. I mean, again, why not just be happy for the growth of the company? Why not be happy for the growth of the business? Why not be okay with where things are going for TNA? So you didn't win the title. It wasn't like you were forgotten. You just came up short, but the way you took it out on Joe Handy was just downright deplorable. And this man's
while I agree that it was deplorable, I can kind of understand to a degree his mindset and his logic. You figure Josh Alexander was honestly one of Impact's defining champions, especially here in the post-pandemic era.
Correct.
He probably would still be champion if he hadn't gotten injured. He was on that dominant of a run. And in his absence, this groundswell began for this Scottish comedian named Joe Hendry. And I think that's part of why I had such an issue believing in him for so long, was that he was more of a gimmick than a performer, but I eventually came around.
Right.
You know, all the people stopped focusing their attention on the walking weapon and instead gave Joe Hendry the love and the adoration. So to a certain, like I said, to a certain degree, I'm not saying I'm justifying him, but I'm also not vilifying him, because to a certain extent, I can understand where he's coming from.
Man, it's one of those things where a villain plays the victim and you decide which side he pretty much resides on. And it's
just like any work situation. You know, you're an IT. Let's just say that you're the most dominant person in your department, and then a Johnny-come-lately comes around.
Oh, come on.
You're out of action on hiatus, and everybody just starts taking his side of things and thinking that he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. There'd be a little bit of professional jealousy, I'm sure.
And you want to talk about a guy with, again, the biggest ego right now in the business, not named Ego for Page, your boy Frank Kazarian, forcing Jay Chung to remind us we have a reason to hate him, as he is the self-proclaimed king of TNA. You're not a king without a crown. You're over obnoxious and great. And all right, action's underway. For the love of Pete, someone show some respect to Jay Chung. Jeez.
I respect Jade Chung, but I also respect Frankie Kazarian. And you know, deep down inside, she's eating up the fact that she's getting to do this shit for Frankie, considering their long-term history.
Yeah, Kazarian coming in hot. Of course, Kazarian, again, one of the last two that stood in the six-way eliminator, only to lose to Nick Nemeth, our current TNA World Champion. being a victim, falling into the danger zone, looking to take out his frustration now on Ryan Nemeth. Oof.
Great takedowns here by the Hollywood Hunk.
And we also got to consider the ankle status, by the way. And Ryan Nemeth, of course, caught Kazarian with that camera outside. It was freaking Kazarian that tried to take Nick Nemeth out of the match in the first place. And right now, Ryan Nemeth with arm control here. And clearly Kazarian knew that Nick Nemeth was a threat to him getting, oh, God, that TNA World Championship, and wanted to make sure it was a non-factor. Kama came back to bite Kazarian in the ass once again. Drop kick!
Gorgeous drop kick by Ryan Nemeth.
The shares of his brother.
The height that he got there.
Ryan Nemeth fired up, of course. Ryan Nemeth, of course, who came into TNA back at Rebellion, supporting his brother. We saw what happened during Kazarian again in the course of that six-way limit. At one point, he was driven off the stage through a table, a non-factor, towards the very end. Snap suplex. Ryan Nemeth exploded in the corner. Kazarian has taken control of this match so far. Can Ryan Nemeth get back in it? Again, we don't have to worry about the commercials here, thanks to YouTube. While you're on Access TV Pride seeing stuff for Doctors and Blue Chew, which is beyond stupid and music and utter nonsense. If you know what that channel exists. Hoist it up. Ugh, backdrop suplex. And like we talked about, JJ, everyone's trying to send a message now to the new TNA World Champion, Nick Nemeth. And this guy, first and foremost, has to be at the top of the list, considering he's the last guy in that match with him. And Kazarian right now just literally reminding the people exactly why he's the king of TNA, using Ryan Nemeth as an example. What? I have no idea what Kazarian just said. I don't think he was correct in his statement. I'm just going to put it out there right now. Irish whip, and Ryan Nemeth thrown hard torso first of the turnbuckles. I have no idea what he said there a moment ago, JJ.
I'm not sure either.
Probably an insult to Canada. Nice up kick, though, by Ryan Nemeth. Now Ryan Nemeth trying to come in and caught, though, with the scoop slam. While Kazarian up the second rope. Springboard, leg drop. Oh, come on. Seriously?
Little Shawn Michaels action there.
Trying to be a showstopper.
There's no trying. He is a showstopper.
You take one picture.
He is an icon.
You take one
Give him
picture
time. He will be the main event, for he is the king of TNA.
I still stand by decorum with the fact that you're not a king without a crown. And you take one picture with Shawn Michaels and you think you're the best fan since Sliced Bread or the Heartbreak Kid. Cravat here applied by Kazarian now to Ryan Nemeth. Good grief almighty. Right now, Kazarian in full control here of his opponent. And Nemeth right now just trying to create separation here. Nasty torque on the neck being applied by Kazarian. These body shots, though. Kazarian leaving his core exposed. Continues, though, to apply more punishment, though, in this nasty hold. And Nemeth, though, still fighting back from underneath. Bringing back to his feet, but the rising kneeless. Oh, wow. Rolled through with a net breaker.
And you can see Ryan Nemeth there clutching the back of his head and neck.
Yeah, heavy damage.
Possibly even still continue. Or did Frankie do enough damage? You see he keeps trying to back Frankie away from him, but Frankie being relentless.
We also know that Kazarian loves to summon his opponent up for that chicken wing, which of course applies even more pressure on the neck and shoulder. And we are back here. For those that are tuning in to Access TV, I apologize for you. I wish I could give you $1 and some tax so you could be on YouTube. We are here on TNA Impact here with Frank Kazarian and Ryan Nemeth. And Ryan Nemeth, fine bat though for his offense. The kicks, the overhead shots. Looking to tee up against the subclane king of TNA. Driving Kazarian towards the ropes. And Nemeth is fired up here, JJ.
He's trying to get that little bit of adrenaline flowing through him.
Irish whip. Runs through the ropes, runs through Kazarian right now. Nemeth bringing back control. Of course, we'll see his brother, the TNA World Champion, in action tonight against Mustafa Ali in our main event. And flies in with a clothesline. And looking for... Oh! Beautiful net breaker with a kiss. Rick Rude cover. Kick out at 2. Rick Rude be proud of that. Silicon tonight, the wedding of the French-Canadian Frankenstein and the Deathmatch Queen, PCO and Steph DeLander.
Could we see Matt Cardona return in some capacity to break this up? You know, the proverbial, if there's anybody here who has an objection, speak now, forever hold your peace.
Took the words on my mouth. Nice gut wrench. Suba's now the cover. Gets a 2 count. Everyone knows that weddings and wrestling never go off without a hitch.
That's fair.
And of course, we talk about, again, people that trying to owe up towards their own actions and responsibilities. Josh Alexander says he owes nobody anything. Roll for by Kazarian and Nemeth gets a 2 count off the cross-body counter. Spinning Solvat, rising knee. Follow through clothesline, drops Brian Nemeth down.
Nice 3-move combo there by the King of TNA.
Yeah, self-proclaimed King of TNA right now, looking to humble Ryan Nemeth before him. And then send a message to the TNA World Champion, Nick Nemeth, now looking to hook him up for Fade to Black. Ryan Nemeth, though, able to find the way to the ropes and escape. Trying to protect himself here. Ducks underneath the shot, had that scouted. Oh, did not have that guillotine leg drop scouted, though. It dropped right across the ropes, and Kazarian now bringing it back in. The slingshot cutter!
That has got to be it, Noah.
Covered by Kazarian, and that is it for Ryan Nemeth.
I swear Ryan Nemeth has had more TV time this last month and a half, 2 months he's been in TNA than he did his entire AEW run.
Well, I mean, back then...
Stop me when I'm telling lies.
I mean, back then he was, you know, part of a pretty Avalon's entourage there, so that's a whole different conversation for another day. And, of course, Kazarian sending a message to the TNA World Champion, Nick Nemeth. Look at him all high and mighty of himself.
Of course, he's the best around. Nothing's going to ever keep him down.
Kazarian only cares about one thing and one thing only in this world, and that is... Oh, okay, seriously. And that is getting the TNA World Championship. Toss a man's wire to the side. Yeah, real mature, Kazarian. Real mature. One of the many targeting our TNA World Champion. We talked about the amount of targets. Oh, wait a minute.
Here comes the walking weapon.
This is interesting. Look who's here in the impact zone. Josh Alexander. Looking past Frank Kazarian towards the ring. Again, Josh Alexander was too good to step in front of people to give us an explanation. But now he's inside a TNA Impact Ring tonight. What the hell is Josh doing? I mean, you already explained. Wait a minute. Oh, now, come on. Oh, no, wait. No, don't do this. Don't do this.
Got him set up for the C4 spike.
Well, what does this prove?
Just dropping the Hollywood hunk on his head and neck. That vicious C4 spike.
Like you talked about earlier, how the work for this, he did, like you said, champion of the pandemic, champion in the rebirth towards TNA. The work he's done laid a foundation for the likes of Joe Hendry and Nick Nemeth. And he can't stand it. He can't stand that the work he did has gone by him in the ass with the fact that right now he's no longer the TNA World Champion. He's used this anger. He's used this anger and self-envy and jealousy to probably hurt Ryan Nemeth.
Arrive, C4 spike, leave, repeat.
As the people sing him out. Once again. Nah. Goodbye. As we turn our attention, the wedding of PCO and Steph DeLander still to come tonight after that heinous action. You wonder if there's going to be a wedding crasher soon enough. And of course, TNA World Champions is on the line still. Nick Nemeth will defend against Mustafa Ali. But coming up next, go to the Knockouts division for Knockout singles action. Jody Frett goes one-on-one with Masha Slamovich. What the hell? Is this what I think it is?
Ultimate X, Noah.
Yes, Ultimate X returns on Emergence. Oh, man. Climb the wires, grab the X, claim the ultimate chance for the X Division Championship. The match that has defined both the men and women here of TNA, where there is no risk towards what you do. And that will come back forward at Emergence Friday, August 30th. I can't wait to see who's involved in that. And of course,
could we possibly get some NXT competitors in there? Charlie Dempsey, Wes Lee.
Well, right now we got the Knockouts taking center stage here. As you see the Militia coming down to the ring, one half of the current Knockouts World Tag Team Champions, Masha Slamovich, Russian Dynamite herself. Of course, Masha Slamovich and Alicia Edwards were successful in retaining these titles against Spitfire at Slammiversary with the help of those very championships. It was a moment they set up, but of course, we also saw, dear God, at Game Changer Wrestling Bloodsport, Masha Slamovich and Jody Frett went to war, and it was Masha with the knockout shot and the follow-up that got her the victory.
Noah, can we just take a moment and document that on the August 1st, 2024 episode of TNA Impact, we had a NXT Great American Bash graphic and footage from GCW Bloodsport?
Like I said, TNA.
What the fuck is happening in the world of wrestling in 2024? And whatever it is, I'm here for it.
Yeah, I'm here for it for live. I'm all in on this shit. And of course, being all in, we'll be all in Wembley Stadium in London this month as well, as AEW goes to Wembley Stadium. But for right now, Jody Frett looking to run wild tonight against Masha Slamovich and give her a receipt for that knockout. We talked about, though, back at Bloodsport, Jody Frett got knocked the fuck out by Masha Slamovich. Jody Frett got knocked out face first in the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championship at Slammiversary. That allowed the Militia to retain those titles in the first place. And of course, the nonstop action summer tour of TNA rolls on. Again, we'll be covering Emergence August 30th, September 30th. Fuck Texas. They will be getting San Antonio, Texas Victory Road as we continue to move towards Bound for Glory. We know we got Turning Point during WrestleCade weekend, and Final Resolution will be in December. Turning Point is November 29th. And for more information on these events, go to TNAWrestling.com. We're underway, and we're starting off hot and furious.
Gotta figure they're gonna announce Bound for Glory at Emergence.
I would think so. I mean,
if not sooner.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, it's like their second biggest show of the year. Oh, God. Big up kick there by Masha. Joey Frett taking Masha down. Joey Frett returning home to Canada. Oh, even though she's mostly from Toronto. Jawbreaker there by Masha. Former bounce in the Rebellion Complex. What a man. Beautiful suplex takeover. Cover. Gets the leg captured and a 2 count. By the way, Jody Frett trained by Josh Alexander. Followed up here. And again, Alicia Edwards, though.
Oh.
And paying for that with a stump to her hand. That's what you get. Oh, God. And a bump kick by Masha.
Yeah, Jody Frett took her eyes on the prize for long enough that she caught that pump kick. That could be it here.
A snapmare right now. It's Masha Slamovich in firm control here, just hammering her way with Jody Frett, literally snapmaring her by her hair.
Hat trick of snapmares.
The spinal tap, kick line up the spine, follow up PK to the front, cover, lateral press, gets a 2 count. Again, shout out to James Hebert, Walter Cruz, and Big J for their coverage of Bloodsport. You can find that in the archives, folks. And if you're a fan of underground fight team with mixed martial arts, wrestling, and other disciplines in combat sports, please go check out GCW Bloodsport, hosted by Josh Barnett. And right now, Alicia Edwards, of course, jaw jacking everybody as she does. The fact of the matter, though, that Spitfire has only lost to these two because of the trickery and actions of Alicia Edwards. I think Steve speaks to the value of them as a tag team versus the threat of the challengers. They have not been able to get a clean win on these two yet. Spitfire, of course, still has their heart set on regaining those tag titles. And face lock right now. Danny Luna trying to will on Jody Fred here. Monster Slammer is holding Jody Fred firmly down the middle of the ring. And of course, I gotta imagine again, if Spitfire finds a way to win here, that has to put them back towards another match for those TNA Tag Team Championships. Get to midsection,
though. And if they
though.
don't win here, then what?
Then I think, once again, Spitfire needs to question themselves as a tag team without Lars Fredrickson's help this time. Now, Jody Fred right now trying to fight back in this, though. Teeing off against Masha. Waiting for her to come back in. Get to the midsection. Now Jody falls with a punk kick of her own and rocks Masha towards the second rope. The Wild Child looking around wild here. Montreal with the double knees to the back of the head. And a suplex follow-up. Jody Masha up and over. Jody Fred is as wild as they come if you've seen her work prior to TNA. Oh, God, just ran through with a clothesline. Here's the cover, the leg. It's a 2 count. Whew. The level of intensity picking up here, JJ, for Jody Fred.
Yeah, no question.
And once again, you
Alicia
see
Edwards on the ring apron. Here
Danny
comes Danny
Luna,
Luna to try to even the odds.
But Luna, though, going after Alicia, but Alicia takes advantage, drives Danny Luna into the ring post. Now Masha, once again, though, taking back control, gut wrench. Oh, God, powerbomb, cover, kick out by Jody Fred. Keeping her hopes alive. That was a hard powerbomb high on the shoulders and neck. Watch the way she lands. God! She had one leg over one shoulder as well, which allowed Jody Fred, I think, to escape. Here's Alicia again, trying to use the tag championship the same way they did at Slammiversary. Alicia was
trying to set up the tag title there on the turnbuckle pad.
Well, Danny Luna, though, again, trying to get the officials' attention. Oh, and Danny Luna making Alicia pay. About the time somebody finally takes her out. Well, wait a minute. Jody Fred, though, stopping the collision in the corner. And now Masha drops her face first into the title. Turn out fair play. Karma's a bitch. Hoist her up. 7, 4, 1. Shoot the half. Cover. 2. Jody Fred has been one half of the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Champions. Emphasis right there on karma, JJ.
No doubt.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, fuck you.
Not sure that's how the quote goes, but we'll run with it, Noah.
Ask Jody Fred, I guarantee you that's what she's figuring right now. The Wild Child rolls with momentum tonight, beating one half of the militia. As we talk now about the man that's been the most motivational, influential wrestler in the business, literally the last 3 months, Joe Hendry. And it's time because us, the fans. We believe, damn right. Except King, he's a hater. Chaos obstacles when you become success. Gabriel NXT. Took on an entire roster, got eliminated. Competed against the best TNA. And get cheap shot. And the dream stolen from you. And you get a guitar cracked over your back. But he will always stand up. Because of the support. Because we believe. Yes, we believe. Damn right. And his goal is to become TNA World Champion. Represents the greatest wrestling company in the world. TNA Wrestling. And he wants to be the face of the company. And every time he falls, he gets back up. For every single one of us. Because we're chanting, we believe. JJ, I'm just going to ask you this real quick. Do you believe Joe Hendry can be the TNA World Champion?
I do believe.
Okay, and still to come tonight, the wedding of PCO and Steph DeLander, but also we have a TNA World Championship match talking about that very title, the one man defense of Mustafa Ali, but it's been made official. Up next, Mike Santana looks for his own pound of flesh against Campaign Saint, looking to prove his work to Mustafa Ali. And we are back here at TNA Impact, non-stop action, because again, fuck television. We have no commercials here on Thursday nights, which is why it's my favorite night to talk with JJ as we get ready for the realist to go in singles action here. Here comes Mike Santana for the TNA faithful. Let's go to Jay Chum for our introductions. From the Bronx. You look, all I'm going to say is this. If you literally lived in the Bronx, you're as real as it gets when it comes to surviving shit.
That's probably pretty accurate.
I've heard some maddening stories. I'm sure it's not much different from South Central LA, but again, it's a whole different area code.
This is accurate.
But we think about again, though, Mike Santana, he was taken out on the behest of Moose, who considered him a threat for the TNA World Championship. And while he didn't have a shot at the TNA World title that night, he was able to find his own shot and create his own moment, being Jake something.
Something.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I don't overkill gimmicks on like WWE. What? Anyway, Campaign Zing right now in singles action, trying to prove his value towards Mustafa Ali, who will be involved in our main event. I still believe, though, that Santana is one of the toughest men you could fight here in TNA. I think Campaign Scene's in way over his head, JJ. Well, the match officially underway after that cheap shot. And Irish Whip, reversal Irish Whip. I mean, I don't think Campaign Scene's even got enough value or street cred to call himself vice president of the Mustafa Ali campaign. Like Santana right now, get the early goal in here against Campaign Singh. Again, folks, this is an impromptu match. There is no graphics. So me and JJ are just kind of watching this because at the end of the day, we're here for Nick Nemeth with Mustafa Ali. And I know JJ's here for the wedding, but you got to consider Mike Santana's got to be also in the top for the TNA World Championship picture.
I definitely think he's a contender, but I don't think it's his time yet.
Well, again, he just came
the
back.
King of TNA needs a run before Santana does. And whether you like him or you don't like him, I think you can agree with me on that.
I will say that he does have more TNA cred than Mike Santana in singles, to your point, considering, again, he is an OG and original. But Mike Santana, again, trying to prove that he could be as real as it gets because his goal is also the TNA World Championship. Again, we talked about right now how the TNA World Championship picture is wide open. And Nick Nemeth is welcoming all comers. So much so, again, 2 weeks after winning the belt, he's defending against Mustafa Ali tonight in our main event. Ugh. Knife is shot by Campaign C. Mike Santana, though, looked like it didn't phase him, though. Catching him up on the shoulders. Messy X-Factor.
Very messy indeed.
Uh-oh. It might be the STB. Spin the block! Cover! That's a win for Santana.
As we knew it would be. Let's be real.
I mean, come on. Campaign Singh with a victory over Mike Santana. What world am I living in?
I mean, stranger things have happened.
True. I'll give you that.
But the odds are, in the words of the boss man, Aaron Rift, highly unlikely in all likelihood.
Good stuff. And I stand with a microphone. Hyped up tonight in Montreal. What up, Montreal? Capacity crowd on hand again at the Verdun Auditorium. I love seeing it. Well, I knew that he was going to pick up some unfinished business. I knew Mike Santana didn't forget. Where he comes from. Not that way. Says he's a smart man. Putting the hit on him. Because he knew for a fact all the scratching, all the clawing to get back to all these people, get back home to TNA. That was walking in that anniversary main event, and I was walking out, the TNA World Champion. What? What's a fake moves? Thank him because he did. Make him want even more. That's God. That's Father. Baby, and that Father, baby, can watch it home this week. I will be TNA World Champion. That's some confidence right there from a man that's proud and powerful. Before he gets there, sending a message to Moose. Huh? Moose? I'm going to make you suffer.
Interesting.
Put your foot on all your boys' necks. And now going to make me stop. Oh boy. I want your head in a box. Damn. So, Mike Santana putting Moose on site, it sounds like.
It definitely would appear that way.
Well, the hit has been put on the former TNA World Champion. Talked about before, the amount of possible contenders for the TNA World Championship. Mike Santana putting the hit on the former champion will definitely put him up there. A little bit of hype here for next week. Of course, as long as we are able to, we'll continue to cover NXT and A, as long as Multiverse of Media continues the support and love for it, and we are willing and able to. Got to consider, again, who's going to step up to the juggernaut. Is Jonathan Gresham going to return? Will we get an answer from Moose regarding what Mike Santana said? And, of course, who will earn the opportunity for a match of emergence for the X Division Championship of Ultimate X? Stay tuned for further action to come here weekly on TNA Impact here Thursday on XTV.
As long as NXTNA is a thing, we will continue to provide this coverage on Tuesday and Thursday nights because, God damn it, professional wrestling has gotten us excited.
And professional wrestling has gotten great again, and so has this individual when it comes to what he's done as we get ready now for our TNA World Championship. And you know what that means, by the way, right, JJ?
That means that the wedding is our main event.
Correct.
Which means that some kind of shenanigans are going to happen.
Well, let's see what happens here with Mustafa Ali, who's looking to make the TNA World Championship now great again. One of the greatest X Division champions in this era of TNA finally lost that title at Slammiversary now and has set his sights on a greater office to run for. TNA World Champion.
And honestly, I think Ali could do it. I think Ali could be that guy. TNA has always been the company to give the underdog a chance. And I could see Mustafa Ali as the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Is it going to happen this year? Probably not. But depending on how long his contract is, depending on how long he hangs around here, another year, maybe two, I could see Ali at the top of the mountain.
You see the tail of the tape here. We've nicknamed him with a slight weight and height advantage. Of course, Mustafa Ali has the
but not by much. A 2-inch and a 6-pound difference.
Danger Zone and Super Kid, of course, former X Division champion, 328-day undefeated streak, finally broken by Speedball Mike Bailey, while Nick Nemeth is a former IWGP Global Heavyweight Champion, NXT Champion, World Heavyweight Champion, current TNA World Champion, not to mention he's also the current Triple L Mega Champion. Meanwhile, this man defied the odds and finally, for the first time in his career, beat the system as Nick Nemeth was able to survive the field and put down Frank Kazarian in the end, taking him into the danger zone. Now the wanted man is the most wanted target in TNA Wrestling. Can't argue with the man and his bravado and his MO, JJ, when it comes to that confidence he puts in himself, saying that he is the best damn wrestler in this business. He is that damn good. Now he has the belt to prove it.
Yep.
And now we write the first chapter of the Wanted Man era in TNA Wrestling as the TNA World Championship is on the line. And he said again, anywhere, anyone, anytime. TNA World Championship match up next here on TNA Impact. Let's go down to Jay Chung for our introductions. This is our main event match of the night. One man's first defense of the TNA World Championship. Here we go. Jay Chung looking as lovely as always. I still say
walking weapon.
Yeah, I'm about to say, for those that don't know, I still say World Championships, though, deserve to be main events every time, all the time, and closest to the show. But I'll just leave that to myself.
Again, if they're making the wedding the main event, you know there's going to be some kind of shenanigans, either a debut, a return, something is going to go down. Plus, you've also got to keep in mind, we all know this was filmed in advance. So what better way to go out than to have a lot of destruction and mayhem and then clean up everything afterwards, as opposed to set up and then have to clear it all out for the main event.
Fair enough.
Weddings either need to be the first thing on the show or the last thing on the show because of the setup and breakdown involved.
Nick never stirred the madness, of course, of Moose, Josh Alexander, the motivation of Joe Hendry, Frank Kazarian, and the mayhem of Steve Macklin to claim the TNA World Championship for the first time in his career, starting all over for the first time outside of WWE. And it says again, we'll defend against anyone, anywhere, anytime. Just step up to me and say that you are the best, and I will prove you wrong. As this match begins, Condell tie up, and right now, of course, amateur background from the Kent State All-Star coming into play here. Wants a men in the early going here, grounding the X Division champion. There's a cover. The 2 count on Ali, and right now Ali's been unable to even get out of the gates right now. It's still crazy. Again, 2 weeks after TNA Multiverse, we already got a TNA World Championship match on TNA Wrestling TV.
Hey, that just shows the fighting spirit of the wanted man, our champion. I mean, I'm not trying to put down champions in other companies, but how many times do we see the WWE champion, the AEW champion defending the title just mere weeks on regular television after winning the title? No, nay. They usually wait till the next pay-per-view. They build up the angle and the storyline to get to the challenger.
I will say this in defense of Swerve Strickland. He did defend it, though, shortly after Dynasty on Collision against Claudio Castagnoli. But the WWE stuff, you're not wrong. Drop kick!
I mean, hell, I watched your Horseman panel yesterday. I saw how many times Jeff Chadwick ripped on Logan Paul.
Was he wrong, though?
He was not wrong, but I was waiting for one joke that could have added one more to his insults.
Oh, God, what are you going to say?
Every time that he got one past 2, when you threw up the counter, he could have been like, and that's one more insult than Logan Paul has had title defenses.
Yeah. Bing,
and that
11.
would have been another insult.
I'm going to personally open, when we talk about the United States Championship, stay tuned, folks. We'll be shortly after TNA Impact tonight. I'm going to personally make sure to reference Jeff Chadwick's count and add yours to it, and then see if anybody else even knows what the heck we're talking about. And stay tuned again, folks. After TNA Impact, we're going to take a short 30-minute break and get into City Predicting. It'll be me, JJ, Stapway, and the Bingus and Big G giving you our simple predictions towards the biggest event of the summer, SummerSlam. Of course, we'll be covering here Saturday night with our own normalized pre-show amount before the show, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3 p.m. Pacific on Saturday. And that's still so much more to come here at JMN Multiverse of Media. We'll do our watch on trend other stuff too and utter hype to this. And right now, oh God, Mustafa Ali wiped out, inside out, upside down. It's got to be eating Ali alive, considering the fact that he has finally lost the X Division title, considering he didn't care about the value of it, but knew what it meant towards the value of him and his global campaign. The fact that his undefeated streak in this business has finally been broken. Oh, God. Face first, the top turnbuckle, hard torso first there. You saw the sweat fly off Nick Nema's chest.
And whether these two men think of it this way or not, you got to think about what a big fuck you this is to WWE, who thought so little of these two guys that they got sent down to NXT, Nick Nemeth even becoming NXT champion down there. And here they are. One is currently the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. One of them is one of the longest reigning X Division champions of the modern era for TNA. And here they are in the main event for their World Heavyweight Championship.
And Ben, look at the hard impacts these both men are giving each other here. Sternum first against Nick Nemeth, and face first against Mustafa Ali in the second turnbuckle pad. These two are going for broke here for the TNA World Championship.
As they should be. TNA World Championship, the most prestigious title in the company. They should be going balls to the wall for it.
And Nick Nemeth right now bringing the fight to Mustafa Ali on the outside. Nemeth on the apron. Ali to the floor. Dangerous territory here for both champion and challenger. Oh, electric chair drop on the outside of the ring by Ali. Nick Nemeth is down. And Mustafa Ali has leveled the playing field for now in this TNA World Championship match. That was nasty. And Mustafa Ali right now enjoying the fruits of his devious labor there. Mustafa Ali once again back in control of this TNA World Championship match, breaking the rest 10. And of course, Tyler challenging his hand via pinfall submission inside the ring. Oh, face first. I mean, again, like you said, JJ, at some adversity, despite I had a bad power outage, you, of course, saw the greatest moment Earl Hebner had in redemption in calling the sharpshooter decision for Speedball Mike Bailey on Mustafa Ali.
Yep.
And back in. Not making friends here with the official or anybody here in Montreal. Trying to once again reboot his campaign. Mustafa Ali in control of the champion. Again, driving Nick Nemeth face first. Attempting to, though. Nick Nemeth blocking, though. Sends Mustafa Ali face first to the apron now. And champion looking to regain control here. And now Nick Nemeth once again asserting his dominance against Mustafa Ali. Not done yet, but bringing him back inside of the ring. Oh, and Ali with a big shot overhead. Catching him amongst the ropes, the snapmare now, and Mustafa Ali follow up.
Drop kick to the back of the head. Goes
There's
for
a cover.
the pinfall.
2 count. All it takes is 3 seconds. Mustafa Ali can almost taste how close he is for the TNA World Championship. The pressure being applied now to the neck and the back here with the chin lock applied. Again, Mustafa Ali believes that he made the X Division great again, and despite what may have been exposed in Chicago, it's hard to argue what he brought during his run since beating Chris Sabin at No Surrender in the main event. Oof! The flurry there by Nemeth, though, neutralized once again by Mustafa Ali. Of course, after this, we do have the wedding. We got Super Predicted tonight. Coverage of SummerSlam this Sunday. Then the weekly Saturday Night Shenanigans of Open Mind. And then we'll be back here next week for our coverage of the Great American Bash Week 2. Me and JJ on the cause. Of course, we have the NXT Championship on the line. NXT Tag Team Let's cover off the suplex, 2 count, lateral press for Mustafa Ali. And of course, we have Trick Williams versus Pete Dunne. And so much more to come, including Joe Hendry versus Joe Coffey.
MSK with a tag title shot against Axiom and Nathan Frazier. Kelani Jordan defending the Women's North American Championship. The only title that I don't think has been on the line for the Great American Bash is the Men's North American title in Obafemi.
You would be correct.
We saw him arrive last week, but they didn't really do nothing with him. It'll be interesting to see if a match gets added to the card last minute.
Well, you wonder if the ruler is looking for competition or is competition looking for the ruler. And speaking of competition, Nick Nemeth welcomes all competition as he defends the TNA Championship against Mustafa Ali. Nearly catching him in that schoolboy. Now attempted backslide here as we're back on TNA Impact. And again, quick cover attempts here by the TNA World Champion. Ali, though, hoisting up Nick Nemeth. German suplex. The fire was going for Uranagi. Cover, kick out. And again, what a moment this would be for the X Division champion not using option C immediately after losing the title, pursuing the TNA World Championship, and winning it out 2 weeks after Slammiversary. And Mustafa Ali once again back in control here on a night where we saw
big European uppercut there.
Again, on a night that we saw Masha Slamovich lose to Jody Fret after Kama bit them in the ass looking for the same play. They won to retain those titles back at Slammiversary. Mike Santana putting the hit out on Moose. Rolled through, though. And Kama the net breaker! Nick Nemeth catches Mustafa Ali. We also, of course, saw Joe Hendry continue his motivational journey towards being the TNA World Champion, representing, in his opinion, the best wrestling company in the world, TNA Wrestling. Hard to argue with the lifeblood of this alternative. And Rosemary Brian forth a unique death note to her first upon her return, leaving a black rose on her chest and the arms crossed, and they still don't know what's going through Rosemary's mind. As Jordan Grace looking for somebody else to step up to her and challenge her for the TNA Knockouts World Championship. And we kick things off with the Rascals beating Speedball Mountain and Kushida in trios action ahead of, to your point, MSK challenging David Fraser and Axiom for the NXT Tag Team Champions next week on Great American Bash.
And to the point you made earlier, they're undefeated since getting back together as a full trio unit.
Oh!
Could that be a prediction? You know, a little bit of a little spoiler there for that tag title match.
And we also learned that Ultimate X is returning at Emergence, meaning somebody's going to have a chance to go after the X Division Championship amongst a field and one of the most damnedest, extreme, original ideas here in TNA Wrestling. And Nemeth right now dropped face first in the second turnbuckle. This is our main event match here tonight for the TNA World Championship. Mustafa Ali challenging Nick Nemeth, and still to come after this, the wedding of PCO and Steph DeLander. PCO, our new digital media champion and international heavyweight champion. Oh, Ali lands on his feet, though. Nemeth out of the corner after second. Catches Ali with the tornado DDT. And now the champion goes to the cover, hooked in their leg. Is enough here, 2.5. Almost a page off Ali's playbook there. We've seen Ali use that move out of the corner many a times. A reset point here right now for both champion and challenger. Nemeth slow to his feet. Talk about again how much Nick Nemeth prides himself in proving why he is the damn best. Look at the oh, I got caught. Pin kick by Ali. Is it enough here to win the TNA World Championship? Kick out. Whew. Less than a second away again from a new TNA World Champion, JJ. We talked about before how many people want to put their names out there towards the TNA World Championship. Frank Kazarian, Josh Alexander, Joe Hendry, Mike Santana, Moose. Oh my God, what a night for this chop. Ali right now, not looking towards the past, but looking towards his future and making the TNA World Championship great again. Less than half a second away. Set up and over to the floor. Into the guardrail.
Yeah, they got to be careful with those in TNA. Those are metal guardrails. Those aren't the normal padded railings that you see at WWE.
And take another look at the replay here. Watch the way he lands up and over, his own momentum costing him here. And Mustafa Ali using the steps, it looks like, for assistance to get back up to his feet. Does underneath the clothesline. Double leg now by Nemeth. Looking at catapult. Mustafa Ali, nowhere to go but up. Face first into the ring post. That was a nasty collision right there. You see Ali right now rechecking his jawline. That tosses Ali back inside. And now look at the special security trying to come into play for the campaign leader. Behind referee Spencer's back. Into the ring now, though. Mustafa Ali looking to step over, trying to trap Nick Nemeth. You gotta be kidding me.
Going for the sharpshooter again in Canada. This is the same move Ali tried to use in the X Division title match.
And we are in Montreal, and there's no Or Hebner this time. And Nick Nemeth is in a world of trouble. That is applied deep in the middle of the ring. TNA World title in the balance. We are just a tap away from Mustafa Ali making the TNA World Championship great again in his own twisted vision. History could be made here again if Nick Nemeth does not find a way to force the break.
Be thankful that that's not a Hebner out there. Some people would consider that a tap, the way that he was pounding the pavement, trying to climb to the ropes there.
And to your point, Nemeth was able to climb to the ropes and force the break, using 4 out of 5 seconds for extra damage. Of course, you damage the legs of Nick Nemeth. You damage that pop elevation he tries and gets off the danger zone. And a kick to the hamstring doesn't help your leg either. We talked about drag screw leg whips earlier. Pushed off, though. And Nick Nemeth right now. Cut! Him and a Spanister!
Middle of the ring.
Covers
not a lot of
enough
pressure
here.
on the cover, though.
But a crucifix reversal by Ali! Oh, stole it. That strike to the hamstring, to your point, prevented Nick Nemeth, though, from trapping him in the cover. Super kick follow, though. And Ali into the danger zone. That's got to be it for the win. Nick Nemeth retains the TNA World Championship. Woo! That's a hard way to go out in your first defense. And Nick Nemeth welcomes it. Again, you gotta admire this man who's a man of his word and his worth as our new TNA World Champion. One defense in, Nick Nemeth wins against Mustafa Ali. It's a hell of a competitive matchup, though, JJ. And this is just the start of what TNA has to... Oh, wait a second. And look at the walking weapon here again. Talk about how he built a foundation for people like Joe Hendry, like Nick Nemeth. You know Nick Nemeth has to be aware that Josh Alexander is literally making sure that he is prime target to challenge for that TNA World Championship. There's only one goal on the walking weapon's mind. Capturing the title he never lost. But Nick Nemeth right now is still the face of TNA as the wanted man era continues here.
You know what's going to be next, Noah.
Again, we've had a lot unpacked. We had a lot undone tonight. Again, thank you for those that have been watching. Please subscribe, comment, tell friends. We do this across all things wrestling, WWE family. But to your point, up next, time to cement a wedding. It's the wedding of PCO and Steph Delander.
The moment you've been waiting for, bruv.
And we are back here on TNA Impact getting ready for a monstrous union between PCO, the current Digital Media champion, and, of course, our new international
What is
champion.
Rhino doing coming out?
Is he the best man? I mean, he dressed for the occasion.
Maybe he's got a tie on.
I don't think it's a clip-on either.
No, you can tell it's tied.
I mean, Rhino, of course, we saw
if it was
him.
a clip-on, it would be on his singlet and hanging a lot lower.
We also saw Rhino Dude come to the aid, though, of PCO, as we got the director of authorities, and Tina Morella here. Not to mention Zaya Brookside. Not to mention Sarah Brookside saying love wins in the end. Might be the only flower girl here at this wedding.
Maid of honor, I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's exactly what she is. Steph Delander's maid of honor in her finest wedding attire, in all black, of course. Are we sure we're not attending a funeral here?
It's a dark wedding, Noah. Come on.
Look,
I've heard of the program, bro.
I've heard of a white wedding, not a black
lights are
wedding.
out.
That can only mean one thing. Time for the groom to be resuscitated to life. For you cannot kill what won't die. Especially when love literally is keeping him alive. What the fuck am I about to freaking witness?
Get a jolt from the electrodes there.
From Destro. The guy that brought him to life back at Slammiversary, might I add. As long as Top Trash stays away from this wedding, I'll consider it a success. He's alive! And he's dressed for the occasion.
Of course he is. And he got his championships as well.
PCO in a suit, wearing 2 titles. This is 2024, folks. Our digital media and international heavyweight wrestling champion, Perfect Creation 1, the French-Canadian Frankenstein, back home in Canada, PCO. Oh, my gosh.
We need Raven, damn it. We need Raven here for this.
Don't say that.
Dressed as Johnny Polo. It has to be a thing.
And of course, we know PCO got this accomplishment against AJ Francis, Flop Dollar, and of course, Rich Swann at other accomplices with an assist by Rhino and Sammy Callahan.
Well, we've got the best man, we've got the maid of honor, we've got the groom, so you know what's next, Noah.
Yes, I do. The bride.
Here comes the bride.
LJJ.
Who's she being escorted to the ring by?
Destro, of course.
With her Bride of Frankenstein hairdo. I love it, Noah.
I hate.
Come on. Just for the cinema here. Come on, Noah. This is gorgeous.
It's definitely a unique presentation, to say the least. And they put out all the stops.
Okay. I know you're not a huge movie guy, but once when you were a wee lad, did you ever see Mary Poppins?
Yes, I already told you that.
Okay, you remember the nanny that got chased away at the start of the film? Katie Nana?
Yes.
That's the same chick that played the Bride of Frankenstein.
Oh, boy. Well,
the lovely Elsa Lanchester.
I'm just going to tell you right now, don't expect any tears shed for me on this occasion. You're never going to get any sympathy from me when it comes to a wrestling wedding. But let's go ahead and go down to Team Morella.
Is going to give the sermon with his great accent.
Well, we are in Canada.
I can't take him seriously.
These marriage
of this monster.
They're
going to read their own vows.
I can't take it. This is going to break me. Ah! She's nervous. Hi, Stephanie. Take you, PCO. Love the wedding. Undead bride.
Santino making the heart.
Truly love at first fright. Never clear electricity bill is really high. Clearly. Jokes for having stitches.
The pun game is just next level here.
Oh, gosh. Playing as you want to see. We are simply meant to be. Till death do us part.
But PCO doesn't die. So you'd have to kill her.
Pico?
Pico de Gallo?
PCO. PCO speaks. Yes, PCO speaks. Stephanie? My vow. What was that? I think you said love. Okay, I guess that's one way to have a vow. Now it's time for the
ring presentation.
I've seen so much wacky shit in TNA over the years when it comes to weddings, but this one takes the cake. And there is no cake. To the right hand. I thought it was the left hand that's supposed to go on. I don't know anything about this shit. This is not
right. It is supposed to go on the left.
This is not in my element. I'm the simple single man for life. This is not in my element. I may be dressed in suits on weekly occasions, but this is not in my element. This is not what I signed up for.
The ring is actually on a finger, a severed finger.
Of course. I'm sure he dug it up from the local cemetery. All right. I'm just waiting for somebody to crash the wedding, as long as it's not Flop Dollar. I'm just waiting for the wedding crasher. There's gotta be
All
something.
right, so we put it on the correct hand for Steph, but the wrong hand for Pico.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Why they shouldn't be joined in matrimony.
Or your face. Give me a second. Just going. Oh, fuck
And
me.
here we go. AJ Francis.
The number one thing I did not want to see tonight here on TNA is tough trash. Why is this flop on my screen? Oh, God.
I wonder if PCO is legit married in real life, and that's why they did it on the other hand out of respect for his real wife.
That actually would make sense. You put on a dumpster fire worse than Jinder Mahal and Baron Corbin.
No. Let's be fair. Their match was solid. Would I call it an instant classic? No. But would I call it a dumpster fire? No. Let's be fair to AJ Francis. We've said it a few times, Noah. Since coming to TNA, he's been on the run of his life. Let's give the devil a little bit of due. We can still keep the Flap Dollar nickname because it's funny, but give AJ his due. He's been doing pretty well. You still ain't got to like him, but give the devil his due. That's all I'm saying.
There's a reason why there's more than one person here on the screen.
But the power vested in me by his online course. I now pronounce you monster and bride.
Oh, dear God, no!
Give a French kiss the bride.
No! Cut the feed! Cut the feed! Cut the feed!
PCO kind of caressing her hand.
You know what that means, folks, if you've watched enough movies and seen enough weddings. This is actually going to happen. Really, this is actually going to happen. They're actually going to show this on YouTube. Are we sure this is not going to be age restricted? What the fuck? Out. Oh, shit!
It's Matt Cardona.
Oh, my God!
We knew he was going to come back.
Look who's back! The former WWE champion and the Deathmatch King to the Deathmatch Queen. It was Matt Cardona that found Steph DeLander in Australia, and they both ran roughshod over the deathmatch scene.
But look, he's got a present in his hand. Maybe he's not here to cause chaos and mischief. He actually has a present in his hand. It's a wedding gift, Noah.
And we haven't seen Cardona since he was injured. Oh, they just brain PCO and now sent Tim Morella out. What the hell was that?
It's a brick. It's not a present after all. It's a brick.
Looks like a piece of a tombstone. That's a cinder block.
And here goes the destruction of the set.
And literally right now, Zaya Brookside and Rhino, helpless to do anything here. Matt Cardona has crashed the wedding. You almost got to wonder, though, when Steph DeLander returned, it was literally Matt Cardona that aided her towards a TNA Knockouts World Championship match. What's Steph thinking?
Where does Steph's loyalty lie? Matt Cardona's tapped her on the shoulder like, come on, let's roll, and she's not going. Now he's grabbed her by the wrist.
Whoa.
She doesn't want any part of Cardona, Noah. She's loyal to her undead husband.
Okay. Steph is hot. Schiff is pissed. Okay. Matt Cardona might be messing with something he did not expect. Well, Steph Delander standing up for her quote-unquote husband. And PCO trying to resuscitate himself back to life. Steph Delander, her old woman, standing up for her husband, as once again, another wrestling wedding has been ruined for a bride. And the bride is left in sorrow and in sadness, being counseled by Zaya Brookside.
Cardona can't believe that she would pick PCO over him.
Well,
French-Canadian Frankenstein back on his feet. I'm sure we'll get some kind of something here at Emergence, probably, Noah.
As PCO and Steph Delander look on the destruction here. Well, for the Renegade Wrestling J.D. Williams, I'm assuming Noah Foster, this wedding has come to a crashing conclusion. Thanks for tuning in to our coverage of TNA IMPACT. We'll see you next week. We'll also see you on the other side here shortly. Forcing predicting. I'm not going to lie. That kind of ended more abruptly than I was expecting. Look, I may not be the most emotional guy on screen towards this stuff. I can understand the summit trying to be behind these events, but I can honestly say I never like to see a grown woman cry. So hopefully they'll figure out a way to reconcile this. And I'll give Flopdog credit's due. He didn't do anything from the outside. No one did, though. But Matt Cardona, damn. Welcome back to TNA, I guess.
There we go. All right. Well, hell of an outing there by TNA Wrestling. Once again, make sure you guys come back this coming Tuesday as we do part 2 of NXT Great American Bash. Make sure you come back next Thursday as we do another episode of TNA IMPACT. And make sure you come back at the top of the half hour as Noah, I, Statboy, and the Dominguez will be simply predicting SummerSlam. For the Simple Man Noah Foster, I'm the Renegade of Wrestling, JJ Williams. We will see you guys in a bit.
The Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.